There is a form of love that speaks in silence, a hidden current flowing beneath the noise of daily life. It does not rely on declarations or grand promises. Instead, it moves through subtle gestures, quiet companionship, and the wordless expression of care. In the field of depth psychology, inspired by thinkers like Carl Jung, it's understood that the psyche does not only speak through words, it reveals itself through symbols, emotions, and unconscious patterns that bypass the control of the ego. When someone truly loves, their actions carry a resonance, a felt presence that speaks not through reason, but through emotion. These signals are rarely conscious. Often the person offering them does not even realize they're doing so. That is what makes them feel so authentic. While the outer self, the persona, may shape words and gestures, and the ego may perform affection, the unconscious cannot be staged. It emerges through glances, through the tone of a voice, through a quiet instinct to protect, or a silence that feels deeply safe rather than cold. These are the markers of genuine connection, not because they are dramatic, but because they are real. Jungian psychology suggests that the soul communicates through archetypal symbols. Love, in its most enduring and profound form, is one such archetype. It moves through us without planning or permission, and when it moves, it leaves behind traces, not spoken, but felt. Today, we explore 6 of these subtle, sacred signs, those small, often unnoticed expressions that reveal love without a single word. What you're about to hear may shift the way you understand love, but once these patterns become visible to you, you'll begin to feel a deeper truth, that love, when real, is often quiet. It speaks not to the ears, but to the soul. The unconscious synchronization, when souls quietly align. There are rare moments in life when two people meet beneath the surface of awareness. What unfolds between them is not simply compatibility or shared interests, but a kind of wordless harmony. In Jungian-inspired psychology, this has been described as emotional resonance, a kind of unconscious alignment that bypasses intellect and enters the realm of feeling. You may have seen it, the way two people begin to mirror each other's movements, fall into rhythm with each other's breathing, or share long silences that feel full rather than empty. Modern neuroscience might explain this as mirror neurons at work, but a depth psychological lens offers something more poetic, the soul quietly recognizing a reflection of itself. This unconscious synchrony is not rehearsed or managed. It is something deeper, a sign that connection is happening beneath the surface. From a symbolic perspective, it can be understood as the anima and animus, the inner feminine and masculine energies, resonating between two individuals. It has nothing to do with gender and everything to do with the psyche. When this harmony unfolds, it does not arise from effort. It arises from being. And in the most difficult times, this connection becomes most evident. In moments of stress or pain, someone who loves you may intuit your needs before you express them. A simple gesture, a quiet walk, a gentle wordless touch can feel like a lifeline. These are not coincidences. They are the signs of emotional attunement, a kind of intuitive knowing born from the unconscious. What's even more remarkable is that this connection often exists across time and distance. Many report feeling the emotional states of loved ones across space, through dreams or sudden sensations. While science is still exploring these phenomena, Jungian thought would suggest that our souls are more connected than we consciously know. The positive projection. Seeing the future self in you. Another profound expression of love is found in what Jung referred to, albeit in broader symbolic terms, as projection. While projection is often associated with misperception, there is a lesser discussed, more luminous form of it, the projection of potential. When someone loves you deeply, they don't just see who you are in this moment, they sense who you are becoming. They hold an image of your wholeness, your possibility, even when you've lost sight of it yourself. This isn't fantasy or infatuation. It's not blind idealization. Rather, it's an intuitive recognition of the deeper self, what Jung describes symbolically as the self, the totality of the psyche striving toward integration. This form of love shows itself in quiet, consistent ways. The person remembers your dreams, even those mentioned only once. They see your efforts, however small, and encourage your growth without needing to push. They don't ignore your flaws. They hold both your shadow and your light with equal respect. This gaze, the sacred gaze, does not waver when you're struggling. It remains. And in remaining, it creates space for healing. Over time, we begin to grow into the version of ourselves that they see. Not because they pressure us, but because their belief invites us toward our own potential. Ask yourself gently, who reflects back to you a deeper self you are still becoming? Who sees you when you forget how to see yourself? That, Jung might say metaphorically, is the soul's mirror. The total presence. Attention as devotion. In an age of fractured attention, one of the most overlooked signs of true love is full presence. Not just being in the same room, but being emotionally and energetically attuned to another. Jungian psychology values attention as a sacred act. It's not about observation, it's about witnessing. In this sense, love is not shown through constant words, but through the depth of attention someone gives you. They are not multitasking, waiting to reply, or lost in their own narratives. They are with you, fully. This can be seen in small things. Eye contact that is soft but sustained, a posture that is open and turned toward you, a silence that holds space rather than fills it with noise, a presence that listens not just to your words, but to what lies beneath them. This kind of presence is rare because it requires courage. It requires one to set aside ego, distraction, and defenses. In Jung-inspired thought, this is a form of inner sacrifice, a temporary surrender of self to fully encounter another. It creates what Jung metaphorically referred to as a sacred container, a psychic space where healing, intimacy, and transformation can occur. The true measure of this presence is not in dramatic moments, but in the ordinary. The morning coffee, the drive home, the silence at day's end. For someone who loves you, each moment shared is imbued with meaning. Each moment is enough. The conflict that connects, integration through tension. Perhaps one of the most paradoxical signs of real love is how it holds up in conflict. In most relationships, conflict is something to avoid or suppress. But from a Jungian-informed lens, conflict can be a source of transformation. Not a breakdown, but a breakthrough. When two individuals differ, the goal is not to eliminate tension, but to hold it together. Jung often spoke metaphorically about the creative tension between opposites. Love, when mature, can contain that tension. It does not retreat, it does not dominate. It listens, it softens, it stays. The person who truly loves you can disagree with you without disconnecting. They can remain present in the heat of misunderstanding. Their body stays oriented toward you. Their tone slows. They take pauses, not to control, but to breathe. And after the conflict, they return, not with punishment, but with repair. In Jungian symbolism, this is the alchemy of opposites, the process by which two perspectives combine to form something new. In real love, conflict doesn't weaken connection, it deepens it, the sacred response to vulnerability. The truest revelation of love comes not in strength, but in softness. When you expose your rawest pain, when you speak from the depths of fear or shame, how does the other respond? In that moment, love is tested, not through explanation, but through presence. Jungian thought views vulnerability as a portal to authenticity, and the person who truly loves you does not run from your brokenness. They do not try to fix it or minimize it. They stay. They meet your pain with stillness, not solutions, with attention, not avoidance. This moment is a psychological initiation, a crossing into deeper connection, and it cannot be faked. Many spiritual traditions echo this truth. To suffer with, to bear witness to another's pain without fleeing, is considered a sacred act. In these moments, the nervous system settles, trust begins, and love becomes not theory, but embodied experience. The presence in the little things. Where love lives, Finally, the most enduring sign of love is found in the seemingly insignificant moments. Not in grand declarations, but in the way someone hands you a cup of tea, the way they remember your preferences, the way they create warmth in the ordinary. Jung believed the soul lives in symbols, and daily life is full of them. Real love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Often, it arrives with a gentle presence in the mundane. The way someone looks at you when you're not speaking, the way they make space for you in the silence. These are the places where love makes its home. In the rituals of the everyday, love is not just felt, it is lived. And that is perhaps the final revelation. Love, when it is true, does not need to prove itself. It simply shows up, consistently, quietly, with depth. What keeps two people connected long after the spark has faded or the test of time has revealed their differences is something subtle, yet deeply powerful. The kind of attention rooted in care, especially in the smallest, most ordinary moments. It's not the grand declarations or sweeping gestures that sustain love. It's the invisible rituals of devotion, the unnoticed actions that never make it into photo albums or social media posts, but quietly become the foundation of something sacred. This final reflection is perhaps the most essential of all, because real love doesn't need the spotlight. It doesn't seek applause or validation. It lives in quiet moments, a breath before a response, a remembered favorite, a silent act of kindness. It's in the way someone listens without distraction, how they turn back to offer a second glance, or in how the most routine actions are infused with genuine care. These are not random habits. They're sacred signals, expressions of love made meaningful through presence. And if you find yourself giving or receiving this kind of love, know this. You're experiencing something rare, not a passing flame, but the quiet glow of something deeply real, a soul seeing and honoring another, not with drama, but with depth. If this message resonated with something inside you, we invite you to reflect and share in the comments below with the phrase "seeing beyond words." Together, let's honor the quiet, powerful signs of love that so often go unnoticed. And remember, life's deepest truths don't scream to be heard. They live in stillness. They speak through the subtle. So if this message stirred something in your heart, don't stop here. The next video in this series will take you further into the journey, into healing, self-awareness, and the deeper emotional intelligence that awakens when we begin to listen inward. It may just offer the shift your soul has been waiting for. So take a breath and take that step. Hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, and become part of a community that values truth, growth, and authentic inner transformation. You don't have to walk this road alone. We'll continue this journey together in the next video, where we move even closer to who we were always meant to be.